constitutional amendment to ban gay marriage.
You know, think about this. The world's going to Hades in a handbasket. We are desperately concerned about the circumstance relating to avian flu. We don't have enough vaccines. We don't have enough police officers. And we're going to debate the next 3 weeks, I'm told, gay marriage, a flag amendment, and God only knows what else. I can't believe the American people can't see through this. We already have a law, the Defense of Marriage Act. We've all voted, not where I voted and others said, look, marriage is between a man and a woman, and states must respect that. Nobody's violated that law. There's been no challenge to that law. Why do we need a constitutional amendment? Marriage is between a man and a woman. What's the game going on here?
I can remember exactly when my epiphany was.
Okay.
I hadn't thought much about it, to tell you the truth. And I was a senior in high school, and my dad was dropping me off. I remember about to get out of the car, and I looked to my right, and two well-dressed men in suits kissed each other. I mean, they gave each other a kiss. And then one looked like he was heading to the DuPont building, and one looked like he headed to the Hercules Corporation building. And I'll never forget, I turned and looked at my dad. He said, Joey, it's simple. They love each other. It's simple. No, I'm not joking. It's simple. They love each other. And it's never been, it's never been, it's just that simple. It doesn't matter whether it's same-sex or a heterosexual couple. They should be able to be married. What is the problem?
See, when the Western world is talking about freedom of expression, freedom of speech, I feel it's hypocrisy. But when it comes to the issue of LGBT, even if you voice an opinion, you can get arrested in many of the Western world. If a man sleeps with a man, how we sleep with a woman, it's an abomination, he should be put to death. There's the irony in the Western world, in Europe and America, they are forcing in school to educate the children who are hardly 6 years old, 7 years old. It is no problem having two fathers. And if a young child who is not even an adult, if he wants to change gender and the parents object, the parents can be arrested. I remember I had gone to Canada in 1996 for a talk, and I saw on the front page a man kissing a man. That means they permitted a man to marry a man. Today's law in the Western world is so absurd, is so illogical, that it's difficult for a Dai to voice out his... The question that is posed is that how should we deal regarding freedom when it comes to LGBT issue? LGBT, lesbian, gays, bisexual, transsexual, LGBTQ, then I is international plus. So it keeps on expanding. First was only lesbians and gay. Now it's LGBTQ plus, I plus. So anyone who is something else than a bisexual, he comes in this group. How do we deal? See, when the Western world is talking about freedom of expression, freedom of speech, I feel it's hypocrisy. Everyone has a right to think what he feels. He may be right or he may be wrong, that's different. I may agree, I may disagree, but in the freedom of expression, we have a right to express. But where it comes to the issue of LGBT, even if you voice an opinion, you can get arrested in many of the Western world. And again, my same formula, master key of dawa. Ta'ala ila kalimatin sawa'im bainana bainakum. Now most of the Western world, they are so-called Christian. They may not be practicing, but they claim to be Christians. About 3 billion people in the world, they claim to be Christian. They don't practice Christianity. Practicing will be a small percentage, but they claim to be Christian. Now if you read forget what the Quran says, forget what the Hadith says, you're a Christian. What does the Bible say? There are many places in the Bible which condemns homosexuality. I can give a talk on that. There's a question answer time. I'll just give one important quotation from the Bible in the book of Leviticus. In the book of Leviticus, chapter number 20, verse number 13. If it says, if a man sleeps with a man, how we sleep with a woman, it's an abomination, he should be put to death. If a man sleeps with a man, how we sleep with a woman, it's a sin, and he should be put to death. I'm not saying that. Quran is not saying that. It is the Bible, book of Leviticus, chapter number 20, verse number 13. So, ta'ala ila kalimatin sawa'im bainakum. Come to common terms as between us and you. So as far as Christianity is concerned, same thing you'll find in the other scriptures also. Now coming to those who don't believe in scriptures, and today there's the irony in the Western world, they are forcing, in Europe, in America, they are forcing in school to educate the children who are hardly 6 years old, 7 years old, it is no problem having two fathers. It is no problem having two mothers. They don't even give the rights of the parent. Now, they are promoting even change of gender. And if a young child who is not even an adult, if you want to change the gender and the parents object, the parents can be arrested. What is this? Where is the freedom? Where is the freedom? And if we Muslims will disagree, when you talk about freedom, we have a right. Who's right or wrong, we'll discuss tomorrow. I tell them simple question. 30 years back, 40 years back, maybe in the 1980s, almost everywhere in the world, homosexuality was a crime. Then, it started in the 90s. I remember I'd gone to Canada in 1996 for a talk, and I saw on the front page a man kissing a man. That means they permitted a man to marry a man. So in the 90s it started legalizing. Then 20s came. Now, to speak against it has become a crime. So what you have to understand, for centuries you have said it's a crime. Now if we say the same thing what you have said 40 years back, 50 years back, and you are telling it's a crime, okay. Even if we don't agree who is right, how can you tell us not to believe what we believe? We have a right. And that's what I liked about Qatar. About Qatar when they had the World Cup, that's a few months back, in November, December last year. In the World Cup, they were strong. They saw to it, they held on to the principles. And they said, we cannot change our belief, our culture for 1 month, just because we are holding the World Cup, the FIFA World Cup. And they stuck to it. And they saw to it that they said, what you believe in your country is fine. In our country, we will not allow what we think is wrong. So what we have to understand, that the today's law in the Western world is so absurd. It is so illogical that it's difficult for a Dai to support his view or even voice out his view. So in this we have to be careful that when you're giving the answer, give an answer not that you will get banned. Because if you give a clear-cut answer, many places you'll be banned. And there are many of my colleagues, just because we not spoke against homosexuals. In fact, I always say that when I talk about homosexuality, I'm not speaking against them at all. I'm speaking for the benefit. I'm a doctor. When I meet a person who has diabetes, I want to cure him. So I'm not an enemy. So when I meet a homosexual, I never treat him like an enemy. I treat him like I want to get him close. Close to humanity, close to Deen. So I tell the homosexual all the things that I have knowledge as a medical doctor. What is good, what is bad for him. So while doing this, like when I'm treating a patient who's an alcoholic, or has diabetes, or has some illness, so I as a doctor, I want to be friends with these to get him closer to the right track. That what is good for him for this dunya, and what is good for him in the akhirah. Hope that answers the question.
Welcome back, friends. I hope you enjoyed the video till the last minute. As you know the video that from the 2006 that went to Biden and said that the marriage of gay, like when a male married to a man, that is called gay. So that he said that it's not good that especially marriage is between the opposite sexes, like male or marriage to the female. So it was not a good thing, not a good idea. But later on in 2023, he said that yes, gay, I have seen that one person kiss another person, one male kiss another male. So my father talked to me that it is love, and love's in everywhere. Maybe it will be between male to male, female to female, gay. So actually the European countries, the Western countries, they are usually promoting the same sexes, like the lesbian when female married to the female, the gay when male married to the male. So different kind of theories, different kind of fake ideology they are promoting nowadays. And if you look at the biological science, so the biological science said that the hormones of human brain, the sex human hormones are totally depending on the person, and it totally attract the opposite direction. Just like, for example, if you are a male, so you will be directed toward the female. If you are a female, you will be directed toward the male. And the gay, the lesbian, it's totally prohibited in Islam. Our Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that whenever you see two male of doing the sex, so you have to fell them from the hill, or you have to fell the wall on them. You know, one of the Prophet Hazrat Lut alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed the whole nation on this sin. Actually, this sin was created by the devil. You know, the devil, he used to come to a garden, you know, a garden full of grapes. So the devil make himself like a good boy, a smart boy, and he entered to the grapes garden, and he eat the grapes, and you know, creating different kind of things in the garden. So you know, one day the owner of the garden said that, why you are coming here and eating grapes without permission? It's prohibited. So the boy said that, if you are doing sex with me, so I will leave it. So the owner of the garden said that, you know, if my garden remains safe, so I will do the sex. It's nothing. You do the sex. So from that era, the sex from gays, from male to male, it has been started. So at that time, the Prophet Hazrat Lut alayhi salam, all the nation has been involved in this condition. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked to Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam to just go and destroy the nation. Then the Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam took the nation from his single feather, he took up to the sky, and then from that he just, you know, opposite it and throw it into the earth. So my dear brother and sister, the gay, especially nowadays, this sin is also common in Muslim society, that people use sex for people uses the same condition, same sexes for the sexes, or taking the enjoyment. It's totally prohibited in Islam, and you know, it have a lot of negative points, lot of trouble. May Allah protect us and protect our relatives, our child, our kids from this kind of sin. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like the video, subscribe the channel and share it with your friends.